Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So once again, we're going to get caught up with some Shonen Jump chapters this weekend. So we got some Kaiju, some Akane Banashi, as well as the newest Spy Family chapter to get around to. So I think initially I said I'd try to plan to get read-throughs back by next weekend. But I think I'm going to say the weekend after is when I'll start resuming read-throughs again. Just because these last few weeks have been very, very tiring. I really do need to take like a little bit of a break. I haven't had a proper weekend for a while. So I think I'll take one more week off next week just as a break, like an actual break. Then we'll be back the week after that with your regular read-through rotations again. Apart from that, I do want to shout out solidarity to all the student protesters right now on campuses all across the U.S. that are protesting against the genocide that's happening in Palestine right now. They are extremely brave for what they're doing right now, especially given how violent the police response to these protests has been. So if you can, show their support for what they're doing, boost their voices, whatever else you can do to show solidarity with them and what they're going through right now. But yeah, I just want to shout that out as well. But without further ado, let us dive into it with Kaiju No.8, Chapter 106 by Naoya Matsumoto, with translation by David Evelyn and lettering by Brandon Bovia. So we pick up where he left off last time with Kafka going like, I finally managed to make it here because of everyone's help. And he kind of just does like Isao's little fist bump thing to get himself ready for battle. He's like, I will take him down. And number 9's like, what is this? As you see as Kafka just like lunges in with like a little powerful punch. You have squadron style combat technique, the same style that was perfected by Isao Shinomiya. And you see Azu's doing like number 9's like blocking with an attack with his forearm. You see the shockwave just like extending past, like blowing through a building behind him. And you see as Kafka readies for another one, you see number 9. I think number 9's like jumping back when Kafka powers up for another punch. And you see them exchanging like a flurry of blows. And you see after they stop, like the shockwave just slices apart the buildings all around them. And you have the city isn't going to hold. It's like, yeah, and they're just exchanging blows. So we're being forced to reckon with how fragile civilization actually is. It's like this is a clash between two identified class Daikaiju. And you see a boom, boom, as like you see him like turtle, number 9 kind of like try and turtle up and block all of Kafka's punches. Now as he's taking it, you see him just like turtling up some more. He's like, he's overpowering him. He can do this. He can do this. It's like, no, that's not it. Number 9's hardly taking any damage. During that signal hijack earlier, that thing clearly made reference to having access to Isao's memories. That would mean he knows about Isao's combat technique. Yes, we'll talk about that at the end. As number 9's like, I know that technique. And he also does Isao's kind of like little fist bump thing. And he does like a little undercut one to Kafka as he hits him with the stomach with a bam. It's like, he got knocked back after all. Yeah, squadron style combat technique number 2 is like force blast. And you see them both doing the force blast attack. He's like, it's useless. We may be using the same move, but when it comes to sheer power, I'll beat you. Jeff, he's getting read like a book. Number 9 knows the squadron style combat technique. And the source of their info is, it's like the person who has the most intimate knowledge of the squadron style combat technique. Its strongest practitioner is Isao Shinomiya. And you see like the little, like as the number 9's face like partially transformed to Isao's. It's like, there's nothing he can do against a threat of this caliber. And number 9's like, too bad. You stayed well within my expectations. And you see a boom as Kafka just like puts his arms up to block as number 9 hits him. And you see the poor little girl in the Kaiju defense shelter be like, Mister! And you see, of course. You see a little flashback to the Hoshina style combat technique. It's like, yeah, it's essentially a highly guarded secret. They're inherited techniques passed down only to the members of the Hoshina family. I'm going to be drilling the original combat technique India. But as long as number 9 has Director General Shinomiya assimilated, you ought to assume that going head-to-head with a squadron-style combat technique won't work. And he's like, nope. We're going to use the fact that he knows what cards are holding against him. We're going to evolve the squadron-style combat technique by incorporating elements of the Hoshina style. He's like, evolve? He's like, don't tell this to anyone else. If number 9 were to assimilate someone, who knows, then he'd find out. Don't mention a word of this to the other officers, not even the upper brass. That includes Captain Ashiro. He's like, yes, sir. He's like, Kafka, let's go. Surpass Isao Shinomiya. And as he has Kafka just like holding his arm back, readying up another fist punch. He's like, squadron style combat technique number 3. And he's like, yeah, and I know that one too. So it looks like he's about to go for like a dual like upper overhead kind of double fist attack. And he's like, wait, what? That's not the movement I know. It's like, sink your body into an extended stride and twist into a spiral to add force. And you have number 3 variant, modified twin blast, as he hits him with a double fist attack. So yeah, I guess quick thoughts on the chapter. Not really a lot to say because again, I called pretty much most of this in the last chapter, where I said, like of course number 9's whole thing's gonna be like he knows Isao's whole like technique because he absorbed him, so he's gonna know how to counter. Kafka's gonna like combine other styles into his own, etc., etc. The only thing I didn't expect was like it to be Hoshina's style that he's gonna incorporate into the moveset, just because I think I've kind of associated Hoshina more with the sword play rather than kind of like martial arts techniques. But yeah, like this was kind of a by the book chapter, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there wasn't exactly anything too surprising but inside of it either, and nothing really super compelling with like, oh, Kafka's like, oh, I learned the Hoshina style technique. Like it wasn't like, oh my god, this is so amazing. It didn't really kind of like make me excited. So yeah, I don't know, like the fight was fine. I really liked the fighting, like the clash between them. I liked all the art style and everything, but again, very textbook, nothing really too surprising. And I'm kind of really just hoping to get past this to kind of see where the story's heading from here. So yeah, hopefully we'll see something a little bit more interesting happening in the next couple of chapters. But the artwork was still solid, everything else was good, but like I said, it was just a little bit too textbook. So with all that said, like I mentioned at the beginning, I am going to be getting around to the Shonen Jump stuff this weekend. So there's going to be a lot of content coming your way. So if you like these videos, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, I'll probably be taking a break next week just because I need to rest and recover so I don't burn myself out because it has been extremely busy here. But until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.